Right, welcome guys, welcome. This is ChatTactic. Actually, I didn't change the number, I don't think. Oh no, I did. I think it was 20. I think it's 27. I think that's accurate. I'm forgetting what I'm doing. I'm always wake up early and sort of I never wake up properly before I start one of these. I should do them in the afternoons when I'm a little bit more with it. Anyway, I thought we'd just sort of start off with the giveaway for today at the end of this session will be for Terminator Dark Fate Defiance, which is a great, great game and just getting better and better all the time. So I thought I'd just talk a little bit about that game before we get into to the show. So we'll be talking a lot about Menace. We'll be talking a lot about a lot of Hooded Horse games as well, to be honest. There's a lot of games on the horizon from Hooded Horse. There is a lot of specials on at the moment for the Matrix sale, so we'll have a look at those as well. We might delve into that maybe even before we do the Menace stuff and Menace / Hooded Horse, because there's actually other announcements that have been coming out of the Hooded Horse stable as well. That's a game that I'm really looking forward to. I'm a bit heartened because there's been wasn't even aware that new information had come out about this particular game, which we'll talk about after Menace, and it's nice to sort of see that other people are just as excited as I am for this game, which is coming next year, so it's a little way off. Hi Chris, how you going? So anyway, the Terminator Dark Fate Defiance is a great game. It's come out like last year essentially, but it's rated very, very positively, like 81%, and it really does deserve this rating. And they're now bringing in more modes of playing the game, which is fantastic. I really absolutely love this, and there's more on the way as well as with what's coming with the actual game itself. So I've had this one. I've been sitting on this one for a little bit of time because what I wanted to do, and I was going to leave it until they brought out their next big update, which I don't know if we can see the news for this. Let's just see if we can actually go to the community hub and find some info out. Because there is a roadmap. So the latest update for Terminator is out. So there's been fixes to the Uprising DLC, which I love the Uprising DLC. But what's coming next? I've even forgotten what it was. But I remember at the time thinking, "Oh, that looks good." But I've been sitting on this particular key for a little while until we actually end up getting that one. That's going too far back. Wasn't it? There we go, 2025 roadmap. Let's have a quick look at this one through here. So there is actually so this is is that the roadmap? Look at the upcoming update. So this was back in April that this one came out, but there is, so we've got the conquest mode. Maybe I'm just getting confused about that. Maybe that's what it is, because that's actually what we've currently got. But I'm sure there's more on the way. God, where is their roadmap? Am I missing stuff? Roadmap, here we go. So we've got the spring. Now it's getting into winter, new paid content, story campaign DLC. Okay, then maybe that's not what I was thinking of. It is this Conquest Mode DLC is the one that I was thinking of, which is now coming back out of summer for you guys. So for if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. So maybe it's just that. Anyway, I've got a key for this great game to give away. Not so much for the DLC, but just for the base game. And the base game is very, very cool. We sort of saw there, if we just go back to it and have a look at the store page, it does rate very highly for one of these sort of games, like 81%. Very positive, which is great. Hi Thor, how are you going? So hope you're doing good. I am actually. I had a big weekend of swimming and surf, like at the surf club and stuff like that. So I was pretty stiff and sore yesterday, but I've still got a little bit of muscular pain. But it's a good pain to have. Actually, it feels good. Anyway, so that'll be the giveaway at the end of the session. I think we'll just roll into the Matrix sale and just go through the games that are available there, and then we'll talk a lot about Menace and some of the other Hooded Horse games, I think, in this particular session. Now, where are we? So we'll just go and just type in Matrix in through here, and we'll have a quick look and see what we've got. If I just do Matrix, is that going to show me the... Nope. Okay, I'll just go and grab Distant Worlds, because that is technically a Matrix game. No, it's still coming through as Slytherin now as the publisher. Okay, Armored Brigade 2. Armored Brigade 2, there we are. And that's Matrix Games, there we go. So we'll have a look at Matrix Games down through this other side. All right, so let's go through the, because they do actually have a special on at the moment. I'm not sure when it finishes, but I don't think it's for very long. Wargaming sale, in fact, it's for right now. Have we already missed it? I think we may have already missed it. Oh, no, we think we may still be okay. I'm not sure when. Okay, this is only, like, so you've literally only got minutes. Like, well, maybe I shouldn't have put Matrix in this one because it's not going to be, if you're watching this afterwards, it may already be too late. Maybe not. I'm not sure exactly sure when the specials end. Let's just see if there's other ones that, let's just go into, like this Red Thunder, for example, because these have been on special for all week. I'll just see if we can find out when the sale ends. 40%. Yeah, it's only minutes. Oh, I shouldn't have put that in the thing. Look, if you're watching right now, there's let's quickly go through the list because there are some good games in here that are worth grabbing. So you've got the combat mission games, of course. Let's just go to the full list of featured games, I guess, and we'll just go right down the list really quickly because you've got half an hour at this time to go and grab one of these great games. Armored Brigade, I would not bother with this now that we've got the new Armored Brigade 2. So even though Armored Brigade is 50%, it is cheap. It is cheap. Maybe that's actually okay. Actually, that's not exactly what I wanted. I wanted to go through to the full list of Matrix Games. Matrix Games list. Come on, give me the lists of the whole lot, please. Now it's Armored Brigade. This is only just going through bits and pieces. Should be more than this. Should be more of these games. What we might do is actually go and if we go to browse, maybe that will help. No, we've still got the 10% off for Armored Brigade 2, which is still good. That's actually, that's still worth getting even at only 10%. We've got a lot of combat mission is available to you. I won't sort of spend too much time with that one there, but there are some good options there for combat mission if you're into combat mission. I played that one the other day. Strategic Command as well. There's actually new DLC on the way for American Civil War, which actually looks very good. So 60% off there is great. So there's some good specials there. New releases. This is actually we've got the WeGo. I haven't played this yet actually. I've got the key for that one. Armored Brigade 2 we spoke about. Actually, I'll just go down through this list. Combat Mission, Final Blitzkrieg only 20% off, so these are fairly expensive. They're fairly nuanced type games. Fortress Italy though, 50%. Red Thunder, 50%. Ruler Waves 3. There's new DLC on the way for this, and this is actually an excellent game. If I just go and right-click on that one, how does it rate? It rates very positively, 89%, 92% in recent times. It looks like crap. It looks terrible, but it really is a great game if you're into sort of like naval warfare in the era of the dreadnoughts. It's very cool. Flashpoint campaigns 40% off, so you've only got half an hour to grab these. Did I get your Discord message about Songs of Conquest? I don't remember. Maybe I didn't. I've sort of been really busy lately, so I haven't spent much time at the computer. I've just sort of been, so I may have missed it. Sorry, Chris. Anyway, we'll continue on through this because we've only got half an hour. I'm glad I started here and not with Menace because you may find something in this list that you want to grab. Battle for Normandy, again, at 60% off, which is good. These are expensive. These are Australian dollars, but it's still expensive for the base game. I hope that they review the pricing on these and make it a little bit more open. 35%, probably, I don't know. I don't really like this game, to be honest, the Nuclear War Simulator. It's sort of, I don't find it relaxing, those sort of games, to be honest. The ones that deal with nuclear war, I just find it upsetting, so I tend not to sort of play those. American Civil War, 60% off. That's a great buy. That is really a great buy. War Plan Pacific, I haven't played that one, but 75% off. You haven't played it before, so I'm not sure what that one's like. The Decisive Campaign's 30% off. It's not a great special, but it's a good game. So very, very good game. If you're an absolute masochist, then these War in the East, Pacific, whatever they might be, is actually a good one to go with. Combat Mission Cold War is also 50% off right now, and there is actually now new DLC which has just launched as well this week for that, which is the British forces, British and Canadian forces for the Cold War combat mission. Valor and Victory is this one has been around now for a few years. It's it's like a board game. It's sort of like it's entry level wargaming, but it's and it's fairly cheap there at 50% off. Not bad, I guess. I'll skip past some of these, which are just too old. Combat Mission Black Sea. It's more of a modern take on the Combat Mission engine. Again, 60% off is good for that. Here we go. Here's the big one for me, anyway. The one that I was thinking, okay, I need to get this one out there. If you don't have Shadow Empire, do yourself a favour and grab the base game at 60% off. You can get the combined one where you get the Oceanic Worlds as well for also a smallish, it'll cost you $5 extra if you get both of them together at the same time. So it is worth getting the DLC. I don't play with the DLC until we have navies, but navies will come, and then that DLC will be very, very cool. So I would suggest grabbing both if you're even slightly interested in Shadow Empire. I started a game of it yesterday. Sort of did a live stream of the actual game. It's an incredible game. So if it's not in your library of games, then you do need to grab this one. This is not actually a request. This is a command. A commandment that if you don't have Shadow Empire in your library of games, it's definitely worth going. So that's probably the one. That's the big pick of the games that are in this list. I think. I don't think we'll find anything else that will come close to a must buy. But that is a must buy if you don't actually have Shadow Empire. Look, having said that, I shouldn't say that it's a must buy. If you love wargaming, if you enjoy war games with the little tokens and stuff like that, it's a must buy. If you enjoy sort of like very very open world generation, extremely detailed but very open with what can actually happen, it's a must buy in those sort of situations. Like even when I was streaming it yesterday, there was people that just enjoy watching the planets form. It's incredible actually that it's as good as Dwarf Fortress, and that's really saying something in terms of the actual planetary generation. It's just unbelievable the detail that's gone into the game. And then they've also now got the new Mayhem mode, which is brought out just a week or so back, I think. So there's different ways of now playing the game as well. So for Snob was saying, we hear and obey. And Jordan's saying you need Shadow Empire in your life now. You do indeed. This is probably, for me, a game that was so surprisingly great. It was just incredible. It's also got like role play elements to it, and that will be enhanced with the new Republica DLC, which is on the horizon. I'm not sure when Republica will then come out, but this is a game that's in constant development. It just gets better and better, and it is for me. It's the pick of the bunch out of all of these different things that we sort of seeing through here. More Combat Mission, 50% off. These are good. Like if you're into quite realistic warfare, then the Combat Mission games are great. I mean, you grab one and you'll get a feel for what it's like, but you have to grab it, play it for 20 minutes and figure out if you like it, and then you've still got 10 minutes left at time of going live here to still get one of the others or other Combat Mission games if you decide that you do like the game. But that won't be enough time to even set up a game, to be honest. It does take a long time to establish yourselves in the actual game of Combat Mission. Close Combat, Longest Day, blah blah blah, War Plan, getting a bit old. Strategic Command World War One. This is a good deal here. Command Model Operations. I've never played this. By all accounts, it's an incredible game, but I've never actually played it. What does it rate? It's mixed at the moment, 54%, but 84% overall. I don't know why that's the case. I'm not sure why, but anyway, that's is 60% off. Then we get back down to the old Armour Brigade. I think that for me, the old Armour Brigade was good, the new Armour Brigade is great. And so even though the new Armour Brigade is only 10% off, it's still, I can't go back to the old one. I know that there's people who do still prefer the old one. I don't know why. But for me, Armour Brigade 2 really is the way to go. Close Combat, Strategic Command, World at War. This is getting a bit old, but still very, very... Excuse me. Sorry about that. That was a very sudden sneeze. Operational Art of War 4. Now, it says 2017. This is well before 2017. This is probably well before 2000. 55% off. It's an interesting mix on how to sort of then go and create games. And I don't know if this is still relevant, this actual game itself, the Operational Art of War. It was essentially a toolkit to build your own war games. And there was a whole big library of war games that people had built for it. I don't know. It's a bit old now for me, but war games never really get old, do they? Strategic Command, these are classic ones. These are going to be fairly old, so I probably would avoid those or just give them a miss. You've got War in the West in through here again, so 40% off. If you're a masochist, then yep, absolutely. Just go and hurt yourself and grab one of these massive games. War in Europe 2016, 60% off. These Strategic Command games are looking good, actually. The Decisive Campaign, 67% off is not too bad, actually. For these Decisive Campaign games are from Vic VR Designs, which are the makers, or he is the maker of a strategic Shadow Empire. So they're very, very cool. You can sort of see where Shadow Empire came from when you look at these, when you play these games, but these don't have random maps, but they are very, very good. War in the East, it's a bit old now, this particular one, but because they've now got War in the East too, I think. Panthers in the Fog, that's Close Combat. What else do we need to have a look at that's critical? The old Advanced Tactics, 70% off. I probably would avoid that now, but it's like in terms of just go straight to Shadow Empire. These are quite old now, the actual Advanced Tactics, but there's still actually a modding community that is actually still curating the actual game, and there's stuff that's introduced to it, but I don't play this game anymore. Having said that, I do prefer the Navy in this game than Shadow Empire. So that's where we are. Well, that looks like the full list. Okay, so we did that one fairly quickly. We did that one in 15 minutes. But really, okay, well, there's maybe two. There's actually Rule the Waves 3 as well. That's sort of probably be my second choice. It's 40% off. I think that's worth getting if you do like naval combat, and that's going to get better and better and better as well. They are bringing out all sorts of new things coming for Rule the Waves. Might even just go into this one and just sort of show a little bit about what it does actually have. It's expanded battles. I'm not sure when this is supposed to be coming, but this is so in 2026. Okay, there's so we're a little way off with this one through here. This will be a bit of a game changer for this game. It'll actually make this game so much more accessible in many different ways. So I'm looking forward to this DLC. But they do keep on improving the base game as well. If we have a look at the news, let's just go back to the community hub. And there's an announcement, the wait is almost over, yearly live show, blah, blah, blah. That's actually just announcing when they did all the announcements, which was last week, essentially. It's an amazing game, though. Incredible. Oh, here we go. Somebody's actually gone and had a look at all the different carriers that can be found in the sort of like within the game, and you can build your own, like you design your own ships, or you can if you're wanting to. Looks pretty cool, actually, that one. Let's have a look and see if we can zoom in. So these are the various ships. The game itself, as I said before, looks absolutely crappy with the way it sort of does work, but it's so functional. It's just such and it's so immersive with what it actually does do. I'll just go back out again, but I'm not sure if we're going to see any other news. If we just go back into the community hub, and it's sort of like it's one where you start off at a historical point, but then it goes pretty wildly in any direction you want it to, like it can go, and you do have agency over the direction of where things actually do happen. So I'm not sort of seeing it there. That's okay. Menace updates out. Yeah, so these were so there's certainly a lot of. I guess go back to the news again and have a quick look and see. September remaster update out. So they just keep on updating it, getting it better and better. But this, I think, has been a bit of a surprise packet in the grand scheme of things, in the list from that Matrix has sort of been looking after. I think it's been more popular than what they thought it was, which is, as I said before, it looks terrible, like the actual way that it's been built into the old Windows areas. It's just not really all that great. So Thor is saying, I really tried to get into Shadow Empire. It's too grognardy for me. It is a war game. First and foremost for me, it's a war game. So if you're not into war games, then yes, it's not a must-have. Hi, Michael. How are you going? Just read through the comments now. So just go back up. Yeah, 30 minutes, no pressure. Yeah, well, I've still got 25 minutes. I did rush through that one. Yeah, Chris is saying, yeah, nuclear war is too much a possibility. I feel the same way. Yeah, I don't enjoy it. It's not. It's sort of. I don't know. It just doesn't feel healthy to be thinking about it. And we said that. Jordan sort of said you do need Shadow Empire in your life right now. But no, these are good. And Rule of Waves 3, it's not. It's 40% off, which is still good. And as I said before, if you enjoy naval warfare, you will enjoy Rule the Waves, particularly if you are interested in the history of around the age of dreadnoughts, around the 1900s. It does actually go all the way up to the 1970s with missile cruisers and things like that as well. So here we go from 1890 to 1970. I actually prefer the 1990 start. That's my favourite in the game. I just like the idea of the big dreadnoughts, before aircraft, and when they were sort of when they really were ruling the world. So Sci-Fi Snob saying it's like me in horror movies, too scary. Yes, I sort of have to pick my horror movies. Like if I need to sleep or something like that, I can't be watching them. My trick with when I'm watching something that is sort of a bit upsetting, like a movie or something like that, I always imagine myself in the director's chair, sort of directing what's going on, and that way it's nowhere near as scary. Now the WeGo World War II, I haven't played this at all. It looks like a fairly big war game, but it's I think you give orders and then both sides play out, but I haven't really had a good look at that one. Hi, Thomas, and saying good morning, Daz. So hi to everyone as well. So there we go. You're right. So anyway, that's the Matrix sale out of the way. Let's talk about Menace and the Hooded Horse games, I guess. So we'll just go across. Menace is now. There's a lot of games that are coming out now with what am I trying to say, with demos, and Menace is now one that's got an open demo, so you can actually try this for yourself. And we'll just have a bit of a look and see. Lead a strike force against an alien threat in this turn-based tactical RPG from the developers of Battle Brothers. By the way, just so that you're aware, I think the marketing will play on the Battle Brothers side of things. This is not Battle Brothers in space, so get that right out of your head. It's nothing at all like Battle Brothers. So you're going to be playing a very, very different game than Battle Brothers. So just be aware of that. I guess the positives and negatives about that. The negatives are in Battle Brothers you became very, very connected with your with the actual fighters that you had, like the Battle Brothers that you had. In this game, it's not. There's a degree of abstraction away from the actual characters, so you don't get connected to the characters. And it's sort of like another Hooded Horse game that I sort of think it's sort of got like a bit of a feeling of, but it still doesn't really quite get the immersion. Is Xenonauts 2 has got a degree of immersion with their units, but whereas Menace doesn't have that, like in terms of the connection. But its gameplay loop is probably more like Xenonauts 2 than Battle Brothers. So really nothing at all like Battle Brothers. So it's sort of it does have the initiative type stuff, but it's very, very different. Now, having said that, the game is a good game. It's not a great game, I don't think, at this stage, but it's got the potential to be one. And so the demo that we have, download the Menace demo. The demo is essentially just a combat demo where you're playing like the combat on the ground, and this is fine. But I think I'm more excited about what's the possibilities of how the game will then develop with random planets and things like this. So I'm really looking forward to the game, like really, really looking forward to it. You can see it's coming in February of 2026. I think we'll now find there'll be a lot of games that will start to be for next year now. But Menace, that's when Menace is due for. It's I'm hoping it'll just be like an early access launch rather than a full-blown launch. I can see a lot of things needing to be tweaked in this game over time, but overall it's quite a cool little game, and I might even fire it up and just sort of go through and show it. So Jordan's saying Menace is more like BattleTech in my opinion. Yeah, same for me. Like I sort of said that in my video as well. Like it reminds me of the BattleTech universe, the way it sort of plays out. But we're not playing with preset we're not playing in the Battlefield the BattleTech universe like in space. But there was actually one of the videos. If we go back to this one here. These are, and I'll show you the combat when we get into the game, because the combat is a bit different. There's also one of the big problems at the moment, I think, with the game. There's no in-mission save in the demo. Now, I'm hoping that will still be there in the actual game itself. But that's a real game changer. Like, to not actually have an in-mission save. And I don't know why companies are doing that now lately. There's been so many companies that have taken this option, and like even the game that we're giving away, like Terminator Dark Fate Defiance, that didn't have an in-mission save. They did put it in based on like the community uproar about not actually having that there, because I think what devs forget about is that they play the game, they're used to playing it, and so when they time a mission, for them it takes 5 or 10 minutes. But for people like me who spend a lot of time really considering things, it'll take me hours to play something that they can play in 15 minutes. And so if I don't have hours to play, it means I've wasted whatever time I've invested in it. And so and if you've only got like 15 minutes to play a game or to play a part of a game, you want to be saving it. And it's just, for me, it's a crazy, crazy idea not to actually have any sort of in-mission save. Even if they wanted to keep it roguelike, so that you can't just keep on, save scumming your way through it, then still give us a roguelike save. Like when you actually leave the game, it's saved at that point. You come back in, and then you still can't then go back and reload that save. Like, do something like that, but don't just have a non-save. So if I stop saying if the battle takes more than 10 minutes, it needs a mission save. Stuff happens. Yeah, it's not just 10 minutes for the devs either. Like, it's 10 minutes for a player who plays slowly. Really, it just should be in there. It really should be in there, no matter what. And save scumming should be up to the player whether they want to save scum or not. It's sort of like, I guess a lot of devs actually feel that save scumming wrecks their game. And look, there are games for example, another game that I really, really enjoy, but doesn't have a tactical pause. And the reason they don't do that is because it would change the balance too far in the degree of the player, is Starship Troopers. And I really, really like Starship Troopers as a game. Like, I thoroughly enjoy it. So you've got to sort of set up defenses properly before you go off, because you are, unless you want to twitch around all over the screen, which is not the sort of game that I like to play, but I do thoroughly enjoy that one. I would love a tactical pause in it, but they don't have it, and so for me it would improve the game. But I can see why they don't actually have it in that particular instance. But they're forcing the way they want me to play the game into the game, and I prefer to play the games. I prefer to play the way I want to play the games, and so similarly with saving. I cannot see a good reason not to have a save in a mission in any of the games, to be honest. And if players do want to do the the save scumming, it's up to them. Like if that's how they get enjoyment, it's up to them. It's like so save scumming, and save scumming is a great way to learn things in a game. It's like a real fast track to learning the fine points about any game. I think, in my opinion. So yeah, Michael's saying no save scum. I'm not sure if you're advocating to not have save scumming, but I think save scumming is essential for any sort of complexity in the game, just to be able to tweak things. Even with Dominions, which it doesn't have like a save ability, you can save like because it's an auto battler, but you can't sort of like the turns don't save. It's only the current turn that you've actually got. But even with that, I felt like I needed to find a way that I could save what I was doing, so I could go and test things. And so testing a game like Dominions, you accelerate your learning so much faster by being able to bring back a save and try something a little bit different each time. So you learn so much more and so much faster by being able to save scum. So anyway, Michael's saying, from what I understand, lots of the tactical options are missing in the demo, also other biomes and planets. Yes, there's a lot missing from the demo, so I don't want to be scathing about the demo because the demo is quite cool, but there is a lot missing. There's a lot of the meta game missing from the demo. So it's purely combat on sort of like on a procedurally generated missions, which is pretty cool as well. So we'll have a look at that in just a minute, but that's a free demo for you to have a bit of a look at. So Chris is saying, yeah, quite a lot of boomer shooters have done away with saving in favour of checkpoints. Even checkpoints is fine. Like, at least that way you've got like smallish areas that you can then sort of tackle within the mission. But to have a mission that can play out over a couple of hours and not have any sort of way of saving back to get to the to the progress that you've made, and it's the Terminator Dark Fate Defiance was when they first brought out this conquest mode. They brought it out without save in the mission, but they did change that one quickly. And the other really big game, or potentially big game, that is just getting crushed at the moment is, and I'll just quickly go across to it, is what's it called? Let's have a quick look on my screen here. Under modern, Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow is a game that is actually that'll be an interesting one to have a look and see how this game has been received. This is not how this is not what any developer wants to see. You can see there's an asterisk there, which means that they've actually they've turned off a lot of the reviews. Like it's in Steam has sort of thought that this has been hit pretty hard. This game has still the potential to be an incredibly great game, like incredible game. And so this one is, you can see 61% of reviews are positive. At the moment, 39% in the last 30 days. So you can see there, this product has experienced one of those one or more periods of off-topic or review activity. Based on your preferences, the reviews within this period have now been excluded. And so essentially you can still see all of them, but people are just review bombing this particular game, which is a shame. The game itself is actually really, really good, but it doesn't have in-mission saves. So if you're a player, if you're a PvE type player, which is what I am. I don't really like PvP. So if you sort of enjoy having like single player games of this game, this is not ready at all, even close for a single player. It's sort of getting there now for multiplayer. I'm sort of surprised at how much negative reviews there are. This is really shockingly bad, and it's probably unfounded to a degree, except that there's been a lot broken in little things in the game have been broken, and they've been fixing up the multiplayer, but they haven't even addressed the fact that you can't save in mission. And so really for me, I really enjoyed playing the game, but then not to be able to save a mission like while I was in the middle of it, because I had a lot of. You do have tactical pause in this game if you're playing single player. It's one of those things where for me it takes hours to play a mission that the devs think will play at minutes, and it's just not the way that I play games. And so like until the until the single player is more fleshed out, I won't be playing this game again. I'm looking forward to playing it because it really is quite cool. But this one has been smashed by the community. If we go and have a look at, I don't even know if we can actually see the. If we have a look at the reviews here. It looks like they sort of pretty much did start off. You can see there that they were positive there. So when the game launched, it was 74% positive. And then it was still 66%, 66%, and then it started getting negative. So people gave them a bit of grace, like 3 weeks, to try to fix things mainly in multiplayer at this stage. But this was, and I thought that the 74% was actually about right for the game, to be honest. And then as it sort of came back through, the negativity then sort of started to rattle through. You can see there and through there's still some positives, but 35%, 49%. But it's also fallen off a bit of a cliff in terms of the players. If we go back into here and have a bit of a look at research for Broken Arrow. It's a shame because this game, I think, really did have the potential to be something really quite great, and hopefully it still can be. So if we have a look at it over time, yeah, we've got a player base. We've still got a reasonably good player base in through there. There's still thousands of people playing it, which is good. But it's going to take a little bit of, if we take it sort of back from the lofty heights from when it did launch, we've got nearly 40,000 that were playing it at launch, and then and it's been gradual, and this is the multiplayer community just getting sort of a bit. It's still a good multiplayer game, I think, but there has been problems, and they've been addressing the multiplayer, but they haven't been addressing the single player at all. And so I'm sort of waiting for the single player to be improved before I jump back into it again. But there's it's not great numbers, but it's not terrible either in terms of the people playing it. But the reviews are terrible, which is a shame. Bugs and cheating seem to be the problems. Says Tenru. I think you're right. I think it's but also people leaving games, like abandoning games, which they're addressing these sorts of things. All right, let's go back to where did I get up to? Chris was then saying, quite a lot of you did that one, and then Sci-Fi Snob saying, if the player wants to save scum, why should anyone else care? Exactly, but it's not just a. It's funny because. One game that didn't do it, it was Age of Wonders. Age of Wonders 2 did not have in-mission saves. You had to then play the battles out time after time after time. You could still save scum before the battle, but you couldn't save in the battle. And then Age of Wonders 3, they started to sort of introduce more of it where they encouraged the actual save scumming around the game itself, so you could actually, when you had a battle, if you didn't like the outcome of a battle in Age of Wonders 3, you got a replay. You could actually play it out again, and that was pretty cool. But you still couldn't save inside the game itself. And now in Age of Wonders 4, we can actually save whatever we like inside during the turns. Which, if you've been watching my Age of Wonders 4 series, you'll sort of see with the complex battles, I've had to do that a fair bit to put. Save points during the actual battles themselves to be able to go back and to stop errors that I've made, and which is again a great way to learn the game. So I'm really happy to see games of the complexity of Age of Wonders 4 or the Age of Wonders franchise actually embrace the save scumming for their game as a way to sort of play their game, and I think it works very, very well. So I think that save scumming, I'm a real advocate for save scumming, particularly for learning, and also I think it's just such a great way to figure out what to do in games, and particularly games with the complexity of Age of Wonders 4, which the tactical battles in that are just really, really incredible. I wish Dominions did have a save ability for the previous turn. You can do it by going in and actually and just zipping up the turn and then reloading it if you're wanting to. So there's different ways of sort of doing it with those games, but it's not within the game itself. Tenra is saying it, the feeling that they designed the game around multiplayer, and that's why there is no save during missions. But then they've also got tactical pause, so it's sort of funny because they did really make the game great for the actual gameplay in the game is awesome for single player. but just not having that. But the amount of time it takes. So they've got tactical pause. This is in Broken Arrow we're talking about now. So they've got tactical pause in Broken Arrow, and but they don't have missions in mission saves, and they don't have having the AI as one of your. You can't have friendly AI with you. So again, that's a good way to learn the game, is to team up with AI and see what they do. But in Broken Arrow, there's a lot of things missing from the single player experience. But I'm hopeful that they will get to it eventually. Must be so disappointing for them to have launched so strongly and then have it crash and burn the way it is at the moment. So I'm still hopeful that they will resurrect it. I mean, another game that I've been playing a little bit over the last month is No Man's Sky. Like the turnaround with that game, for example, was incredible. I just don't. I mean, this is nowhere near as popular as No Man's Sky, but it's still like there's still healthy numbers, like 4,000 players in the game. It's still a healthy game. It's just the reviews are just terrible. Like they're just shockingly bad. So anyway, that's the history there of Broken Arrow. Which and again, there's nothing coming just yet with the there's no news on the horizon about the single player side of things. So again, I won't be playing that game until there's in mission saves. So I don't plan on playing it anyway, but I'm looking forward to it when they do. So that's actually there we go. We've got the Terminator Dark Fate Defiance. See, Terminator did put in what they needed to actually make their save work inside the new DLC, which I'm sort of thankful for. So they did respond to the community pressure. But Menace at this stage, and I'm hoping that I'm wrong about Menace, but Menace doesn't have an in-mission save as well in the demo. And I don't know why it doesn't, because you can actually quit out of the demo and then you're back to the save scum of before you went into the actual fight itself. It's just weird. Sci-Fi Snob saying, good on No Man's Sky for keeping up with it and fixing their game. Yes, I think persistence is important. And but unfortunately, one of the troubles with having a negative period is it's very hard to break back. And look, I'm thinking of one of the greatest games of all time here, which you probably know what I'm talking about. Distant Worlds 2. Distant Worlds 2 also had a period where it's just a pip under the 70%, and so this is so this doesn't count. This is sort of like almost mixed. If we just go back out again and we go to Distant Worlds 2 in here. Yeah, so it's mostly positive, 70% and 76% in recent times. This game is so much better than that. This game is a 90% in my opinion. But I am biased, I know that. So let's just say 85% to be fair. But it also launched where it just could not break out of the 70%. Like it was around 65% for a long, long period of time. And it'll never get to the lofty heights in terms of review scores that it deserves, but it's a very, very, very good game. Like it's an excellent game. Like if we have a look at the, if we go look at reviews, I don't know if we can actually look at the graph there. Oh, yeah, you have to sign in to see the reviews chart. I won't do it there. I'll just do it from here. If we go back into this chart here, show graph. And so, it's one of these things where it started off with 65%, where there was a lot of negativity because there were some crashes and things. 60%, 61%. So it spent a lot of time in the before it started to sort of get out of these like lower than 70%, 77%. So it started to then sort of make its way out of that period, but the initial reviews were so really hampered what happened with the game. And this is a game that really should have launched into early access. So it's sort of it's a tricky one. In fact, if we go back to we've got Menace there now anyway, but that's Distant Worlds really should have been a early access game. So where did we get to? So check out the new Mars Tactics trailer, says Thor. Put the game right to #1 wish list. Yes, I'm going to talk about that. That's actually my little surprise packet after we talk about Menace, because I've been looking forward to Mars Tactics for since the very, very first announcement, which was a couple of years ago. So it's, and we'll talk about Mars Tactics, because that's, for me, and it's funny because when I was raving about this game right back from when it first was released, and no one else was interested. All of you guys left me alone. You abandoned me. But it's I'm really I'm liking the look of Mars Tactics. I always have. But no, it's funny to see. Like, I've had a few comments on my Discord. Just with people actually putting up the release trailer for that one. So we'll have a look at that in just a minute. So we'll just get there. I'm just going to get myself a drink of water, though. I'll be right back. All right. So, so we'll talk about that one fairly soon. Mike is then sort of saying that Distant Worlds 2 is my greatest of all time. Yes, it's a great game. Great game. Tenor is saying, Daz, I'm still waiting for the fanboy emote. Actually, I should do more emoticons for my channels and stuff. Sci-Fi Snob is saying Distant Worlds 2 looks too scary for the Stellaris normies. I don't think it is. It's sort of one of those things where it does look. Actually, you are right. It does look scary when you come in from a normal 4X space 4X, whether it be Gal Civ or Stellaris or one of the others. It just looks overwhelming because you think you have to manage everything, but as we sort of know, if you play the game, you can really put everything onto automation if you want, so you really only just look after what you want to look after. The automation in Distant Worlds 2 is just exceptional. Anyway, I think I'm preaching to the converted already in here. So, I do actually have my weekly streams, although I did miss this week's stream with Distant Worlds. So, which has been fun actually. I've really enjoyed these extended streams of Distant Worlds 2, like getting right into the middle game and getting to the end game as well. Like it's been a lot of fun. I've really, really enjoyed it. Tenor is saying, I just can't war in Distant Worlds 2. You got to find what the enemy is good at and find ways to negate it and find out what they're weak at and exploit it. I think with Distant Worlds, it's sort of one of those games where there's different ways of sort of approaching them. Sci-Fi Snob saying, been trying to convince Stellaris players with 5,000 hours. They are scared. Yeah, it is. The thing I always start off all my streams with Distant Worlds saying that forget it being a 4X game and think of it as a simulation game. And once you get that mindset that you're playing a simulation, it makes it so much more enjoyable and it's pretty cool. Hi, Groggy. How you going? So anyway, Menace. Let's actually open it up, and I'll show you what I mean with. Maybe what we might do here is actually go back to the video, and open the video up. Actually, that's not what I wanted. And we'll just pause on certain things. I won't put this. Actually, I can put the sound on. It should be safe. I'll just put it down a little bit. So this is what we're seeing through here is actually the in-game combat. Now the in-game combat is not as clean looking as you see here, for the simple reason that it's not actually that you can't just position your forces anywhere. What they will do, in fact, if I just go back so you can sort of see what's happening through here. Everything's in tiles, and so when a character or when a unit moves up against an object, it will tend to hug the object because it gets protection from the object. When it's out in the open, it will just they'll spread out like what we're seeing through here with this particular group. The way the patterns look pretty cool, the way things work. There's a lot of complexity in terms of the combat. So massive ticks for the way that all sort of works. And you can really manipulate that and manage that one very, very well in the game. And that's going to, I think, be for the ground combat side of things. That's going to be the hallmark. It's going to be a very tactical game to play in the terms of it's going to be a game and not really like it's not going to be sort of like it looks more realistic here than what the game plays out. This is much more like playing almost like a a chess game, or if you've played Battle Sector, it's very, very much like playing Battle Sector in terms of the actual combat. That's probably the closest of the styles of gameplay that I can think of. Except that it does actually have a sort of an initiative area a little bit. Like units can have initiative and then break into the middle of a fight. But typically you've got your whole turn, the other side has a turn. But there is some nuance there, which is actually pretty cool the way that one does work. But it's certainly just square tiles on the big square tiles, and the units just fill up those tiles. I don't think we'll see them because the tiles actually make the game look less immersive and they may make it appear less immersive than the marketing material, because it is less immersive than the marketing material. It's just going to be a fact of life with the game. So I think that the game will be not as well received as what people expect it to be. So I think the expectation is higher because of what we're seeing graphically. That's my take on that. So again, we can see this is where you've got the tile system. Tile there, tile there. So we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 of them are road tiles. 2 of them are like we've got some tent tiles in through here. They're out in the open, so they cluster around in the open, and they're firing on a vehicle that's coming down this particular road. This is one where the people are on this road through here, and then they have some sort of protection from here, so they bunch up against that one there. That's actually what I meant about the where they bunch up. And they will just visually, they'll walk into areas to try to protect themselves. But it's abstracted. So it's not as if their individual units are actually getting benefit. I think the whole team is getting a benefit depending on the direction of fire. So the direction you shoot from, and again, it's very much, if it didn't have the graphics, it wouldn't look anywhere near as good, of course, but it would still function just as a strategy tile-based chess type game, basically, where you've got like different angles. You're going to get different to hit ratios based on where people are hidden. So you can see there they're hidden in behind a little bit of protection. Again, hugging up against an area that they'll have like strong protection through. These guys don't have anything close by, so they don't hug any corners. It looks great. So it looks incredible. Just keep on going forward. This, for me, is really where I think the game is going to really shine. Like this looks incredibly exciting for me. And so this is not in the demo, by the way. So, but this is actually where I think that will ultimately, this is where the battle sector, the battle tech phase of it sort of comes for me. And it sort of feels like a battle tech type game, but where instead of going down with mechs, you're going down with squads onto the different planets. And so I think you're sort of still going to be working very much like the battle tech type of thing, where you're like a gun for hire, or you're like a PMC, paramilitary corporation, essentially, which is going to be going in to do different missions. So we can see that the impetus is the ship itself, which is sort of shown down here and shown into here as well. We've got the system mapping through here, which are randomly generated when you do play the game. So that's really, really cool. I think that's fantastic. Then you've got you've got system map. Then you've got the different factions, the Backbone, Dice of Gods, and then the Zane Beecher Corporation. I think that these are random as well. I think, which is again very, very cool. So this aspect, this meta game aspect, playing with the with your main ship, is going to be really exciting. So I can't wait for this. Now, actually, we're seeing things here which we probably do want to have a bit of a look at. And so this is actually sort of where we're going in. Again, we've got the same factions in through here. This is counterinsurgency. Stop the pirates' ever growing threat to local stability. So so in this case, we actually have the planet Mock, which is a desert world. So we've got like different sorts of biomes that we can then sort of have because the missions are random, the planets are random, and then they will have different sorts of mission types. And so there's a lot of things you can then go and do. So you would then this would be about accepting one of the actual one of the jobs. So this is from the Zaya Beecher Corporation. They're actually now approaching the group. This for me is so exciting. I think this is going to be where the game will really shine. This is when we do actually have this in the editor, where we can actually build up our squads, set them up with very, very specific weaponry, and this works incredibly well. The trouble with this one with Menace is that you don't get that emotional attachment to the units at all, and you've got like different squaddies that come in as well. You've got your like Charles Lim is going to be the main central character in the middle there. If you have any special gun that's given to the actual to the squad, he will then wield the gun, and the others will then use like carbines and things like this. So you've got like the infantry weapons that they will then use. So there's and you've got like armor, you've got like special equipment that they can then take in. There's a lot you can do in here, like a hell of a lot, with the personalization and customization of your squads. This really shines. This aspect really shines, except that you don't become emotionally attached to your squads at all. So there's no real connection there, which is where Battle Brothers really shone very, very brightly in that sense, but Menace doesn't. So Guy Bellevue is saying, have you played Endless Legend 2? I have a little bit, I just can't get my head into it. So anyway, let's keep going back through. So if I stop saying, I'll direct them to your videos. Thank you for that. This is Distant Worlds 2, I think. What do you think about square tiles versus hex? Also, not sure I like the Fog of War map reveal. No black on the map is if we see it if we can see it from space. You're right there actually. In both instances, I prefer hexes with games. Now I sort of almost think why would modern games go with square tiles and not hexes? Battle Sector did a good job of that, and this game does a good job of it as well. I miss the hexes. In fact, I almost wish that this game didn't even bother having tiles. It sort of doesn't need it. I wish you could actually just move them into position, like you can with so many other games where they're just using the pixels on the map. So you could sort of move your squad up into different locations. It doesn't. The tile system, I think, is unneeded. It is not necessary in this game because it's all about the angle of fire anyway. And so, yeah, I don't know why they bothered with the tile system. To be honest, it just I would have thought that you would have been able to just move it up. I guess it's because the action points, that would be what it is. The action point system in the game does require like a fairly largish area to operate within. But having said that, there's other games that still do a good job of that, where you can actually get to a certain level before the next action point then sort of kicks in. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of on I don't love the tiles, I've got to say. And also the map reveal. Even if you didn't see the units, I do agree with you. There may be a setting later on where you can actually sort of have a bit of a look at the actual map, and so at least have partial fog of war, so you can at least sort of see what the because what's there before you land. Like you actually know the layout of the land because you have to decide where to actually drop your forces. So we should still know the layout of the land. I agree with you there. That's 2 ticks, sci-fi snob. We maybe talk about Endless Legend 2 as well, because that's another game that's just hit early access pretty much this week as well. So we'll have a look at that one in just a minute. There are vehicles and different types of vehicles you can then bring through. So you do actually have like troop carriers, but then you've also got other vehicles you can then sort of go and have. There are going to be, ultimately, this is not part of the demo, but there will be different squaddies that you'll be able to bring in as well over time, which I think is good. So I'm really looking forward to the actual when the game does launch. If I'm being critical of the game, I should just point out, if I'm being critical, it's because my expectations are pretty high for this game, and what I've played I've really, really enjoyed, but I'm being hypercritical about it as well, which is what I try to do. So Sci-Fi Snob is saying I'm all for the enemy being hidden, but not the map. Yeah, when we have space observation. Yeah, I think that would be good. This is cool. This is just the promotional upgrades for your units. Very, very important in the game that you actually sort of select these correctly. It seems to have gone off high res. Just force it. Seems to sort of gone back to a lower res version. We'll see. Anyway, this is just the squad loadouts. There we go. High res here. All right, so this is actually where I'm really looking forward to this, and this reminds me actually. Now that I look at this one reminds me very, very much of Quasimorph with the way things work. It actually looks like a simple version of Quasimorph, believe it or not. Like Quasimorph has got like similar sorts of. Even the ship looks like a Quasimorph ship. So you've got different things you can then add in, which will then help you with the actual mission. So there's not a real lot going on in the actual with the actual ship itself in terms of needing to sort of level up things. So it looks like it's going to be a fairly quick and simple game in the overall look of things. And again, this one does remind me of the battle sector sort of stuff, where you end up with different abilities you can then build up with your actual spaceship. Where they, the med bay will probably, will allow injured units to come back a bit faster. These you do start off with the strafing minigun from space, and also the unguided missile from space, and these can be quite useful. I did a video on it about a week ago, just before the demo did launch, just to sort of show, and I did use both of those things, and they were pretty cool the way that they did actually work. Not sure what the sensor would then go and do. So anyway, that's the so this is a fairly basic. Looks like you don't do too much with this one. So I'm not sure what we get to do there with the spaceship. This is the mission, where essentially where you go in and sort of like do a mission. This looks very similar to the one that's in the demo. The demo has only got this basically, where you start a mission. You've got a couple of choices, and then you've got like a boss fight at the back end. And that's interesting. Actually, in the demo you've got like 800 points, so this is actually a lot less points, which is actually pretty cool, I've got to say. So I'm looking forward to having this being much more difficult than what the demo was. This is the setup for the mission. Again, you can see the tiles. Yeah, I guess it works, but it does get in the way of the immersion, I've got to say, the tiles. So this is actually getting ready for an actual mission, where you sort of have to drop into a different location and then sort of move off from there. These are randomly generated, by the way, which is pretty cool. And that's the drop off. It's just a cutscene. And then off they then go. This is actually one where you do actually have like a drone that you can then sort of send out to push back the fog of war and to locate different enemies. Very, very useful with whatever you're doing in the fight. So you can see the difference of the tile system back there. And there's the tile system showing up hidden behind rocks. They're getting some sort of protection, and these guys are out in the open. So this will be pirates, and this is all. You can play this on the actual demo itself. There is things like suppression and morale. There's armor. There's hit points as well, like with the actual units. So it's very, very detailed, which is great. So there's some really great stuff. This one does look like the demo, actually. You've got the strafing and the missile that you can then still sort of do with this one here. Alright, so this is like the end of mission type stuff. So you would then go to the next mission. So that last screen looks a bit different. Hang on, what's going on there? This one's interesting. This has actually got a secondary element that comes in. So it looks like you get your standard sort of setup in through here, but then with a secondary group of missions. I really like this idea of the missions, like where you're actually operating things from the impetus, which is your ship. I hope that they allow us to rename the ship. Not that it matters that much, I guess. And again, we're seeing very, very, very chunky tile system in operation. And this one's moving up, but it all comes down to the action points. Down the very, very bottom, there's AP, which is actually sort of does use. I still think they could get away without the tile system and just move them into different locations and sort of show where there's protection. Like these guys are huddled up against this rock, but they're in this tile here, and they just do that because that's where they got the protection. Even these guys, if I go back to the start of that particular run. These, we can't see it there, but the reason that they're standing in a line there is because they would have been standing up against that vehicle for protection. So that's where the vehicle would have started from. It's the transport. So again, suppression with different abilities back into here. You get a feel like when you're looking at the tile system, it's pretty basic to a large degree, which I think will disappoint people who think it's going to be a lot more immersive. But it does look good. Yeah, so that's coming in early February, which will be great. So anyway, that's on its way. So Menace, I won't start the game up because I think that we could cover a lot of what was going on just in looking at that video there actually. But so there's a lot to look forward to, like a hell of a lot to look forward to. You do have the demo, which is fun to play with the actually I will go through one little tip, just if you are going to grab the demo, because when you start playing it, you start to go off. I will actually start it up. Where's the Menace demo? Where did I put it? I'm not seeing it there. I did have it. I wouldn't have put it in here because it's not. I don't think I would have. Embargo. There was an embargo on it. There it is. Menace. I'll just go full screen. Hi Drexy, how are you going? So back in time, but Broken Arrow is mostly a multiplayer game, and the devs are not able to update the game fast enough and don't tell the audience what's going on. Well, yeah, they try to, but they don't do it effectively, I don't think. Where did we get up to in the chat? God, I've missed a lot here. Yeah, so we'll have a bit of a look at Endless Legend 2. More for the enemy being hidden, but not the map. Yeah, we did that one. And then Chris is then saying, do you still dabble with Civ 4? Yes, and I'm looking forward to getting back into that, actually. There's other, there's things on the horizon with with Gal Civ. So I'm looking forward to that one. Thomas is then saying the ship reminds me of the Warhammer Rogue Trader. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm sort of looking at that screen because I hadn't seen that screen before. It does look like a very simplistic ship, to be honest. Like it's more simple than I thought it was going to be. Chris is saying, just remember to use your Geller field. I'm not sure. Oh, okay, that's talking about the Warhammer ships. Sci-Fi Snob is then sort of saying it looks good. The key will be the operational strategic layer. Yeah, I think so. And I think they'll do that well. It really does. I'm excited about that. I'm excited to test that. So I agree about the tiles, the Sci-Fi Snob. Yeah, I think the tiles just aren't needed, really. Chris is then saying, unlike the film Event Horizon, where they never had the Geller field. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're referring to there. Let's keep on going. We've got we're recording a podcast. That's all fine. All right, let's keep on going. So we've got the Menace demo in through this other side. I'll just go and continue what I'm up to. Actually, if I go into the new game, I don't know if it saves the old one. I'll just start a new one. Oh, here we go. This is actually similar to what we saw there before. So we've got a couple of different missions we can start with down this way. So we've got the established combat outpost. I wonder, we may have to do this one first. So these are all randomly generated for us at the start. So we've got the established combat outpost, topic extortion. I can plan either one of these. So this is a three skull difficulty. This is a 2 skull difficulty. In the demo, you've got 814 points to then go and play with the way it sort of then goes and works. And then you've got like random type missions each time. Clear IEDs, take out a bomb maker, protect the settlement, and then finally we've got a boss battle there, repel the counterattack back through this other side. We just go into this one, into here. We just get different rewards for whatever we do. So we get an infantry weapon, infantry special weapon in through there as well. If we go into plan the mission, at this point I have to lay out my forces down the bottom through here to then go up against these other forces in the middle. We do get a bit of a view as to what's going on. We do have unknown enemies and things like this, so the comment about we should really be able to see things from from space, I think does ring true here. What's happened there? We've got no points there. I think I can just bring her in. Anyway, this so she is like the vehicle person. I'm just going to add a vehicle in through there. That then brings her into the operation. We can then also then just change weapon, etc., etc., etc. The big thing with this though, and if I just go and click on her. Actually, how do I do that? Yeah, just right click. So that brings her in. It's 205 points out of the total that we have. We can't have any more than 814. We've used 377. So when you play the demo, one thing I would suggest that you do is to have a look and see what your forces do in terms of their special abilities, and then try to figure out what special weapon, because you've only got one of these each at this stage. So you get more of them, I guess, during the actual game itself. But so, for example, she is... What does she have in through here? So she is... W's attacks disable enemy special weapons for one turn. So that's not really something that's going to be useful for, say, a sniper rifle or anything. So I'm not going to worry about that one. Let's go look at the next one. So limb special ability in through here is you can be promoted faster, which is fine. This one here is has got Pike never flees, so we can actually sort of stay in the battle longer. This one is just purely going to be for the vehicles, so we don't really need to think about that one so much. This one here is she is set up with supply costs for her squad and equipment, so she has less in through that side. And then this one in through here has got so this one is better when attacking enemies. So this one here, like with his guerrilla training, we can then go and actually promote other things with them as well. But sort of think about what they're going to be for. Like this guy is good at sort of at getting in close. And so when you start the game, just go through with +1 cover, ambush, attacking from concealment. He's not going to be concealed. He's going to be running forward. Increases deployment zone. That's just going to help us. Demolitions expert. And hunker down doubles defense when suppressed or pinned down. Let's go that way because he's likely to be in the middle of the fight. So we choose a little bit of a promotional area through there. If we just go back in and go back out again. So just setting up your units. In this case, I would then go to the armor and probably get him the best armor because I'm going to be wanting him to be rushing forward. We don't have to give him special weapons, but it may be that we just go with like a grenade launcher, which has got like a short range of only 7. So if we just go that way, he's now decked out and we've used a fair few of the points. Just do that with each of the actual characters themselves, and that will then help to just try to get the right person with the right weaponry. I'm not seeing anyone there that's really got anything. I'm looking for particularly for the sniper, someone that's going to be good with the sniper rifle, which we're not really sort of seeing anyone there that gets any benefits. If you go and have a quick look and see, some of them will actually have other abilities. Take aim, this is toggle, plus 50% accuracy, but subsequent attacks cost plus 40% action points. That one wouldn't be bad, so if we go and promote that would then work in well for the sniper. So if we then just come back out, grab the sniper rifle, and so that would sort of be how that one works. We wouldn't need to anything other than just the basic fatigues. You also then have your squads, and so we can sort of go and add in different units if we wanted to. We don't need to do it with all of them, but this guy here, for example, would be good for him to have like a pretty much a big solid squad of units, just so that they can do a lot of damage. Anyway, I won't spend much time with that one, but just have a like that aspect of it is pretty cool. But there's just that lack of immersion with the actual units themselves. So that is a bit of a problem. Then you sort of got like the way that you then build up into here, but you do want to be spending those points effectively. In fact, this guy also then has he probably would be wanting to go in with actually the ammo bag. Actually, that's another tip. If you whoever you choose to have your rocket launcher, there's only 3 bullets, and once you've used them in the mission, you've used them. This is a feature of the game. So if you go in and grab for that one, grab the ammo pouch, and he gets another 2 extra that then get placed into there. So he ends up with 5. And that can be really, really important to sort of go in with that sort of extra abilities. What other little tips can I give you for playing the demo? Anyway, I won't sort of spend too much time with that, but it's the other thing when you actually are playing it. If I just go back out again and just go back to continue, just the one that, no, so I'm still back in this one here. Let's go back to load, see if I've got my old loads. All right, when do we get to? Maybe that one there. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I hit this one. I'm back at a previous mission, but I do actually have my squad sort of set up essentially, so they're sort of ready to go. Again, she's got the sniper rifle. She does actually have the commando ability, so she's got more accuracy. This one has the machine gun, etc., etc. When you come into the actual game itself, if I just go and start the mission.
All squads in the field.
Initially, you won't need to, or you shouldn't need to really sort of bunker down with what you're actually doing with your forces. But see, when I click over this particular unit, we've got 100 of 100 action points. If I'm sort of worried about things actually happening, I can get into, if I go and click into there, we can see that we've got some protection, but not a hell of a lot. I can't reach that, which is going to give me a lot more protection. This is what we were talking about before. The fog of war is a bit of a problem. But in this case, if I move there, it's going to cost me 63 action points, and that leaves 37 action points. I need 40 action points to 20 to deploy. Deploy essentially just means crouch down, and that can be very protective. So if I go there, that's probably the better move, is to move to that position and then crouch, which will give me a little bit more protection, but also when I'm crouched, I can then use the sniper rifle, so it becomes a more effective weapon. That's just a little thing. I think that a lot of people will just be grabbing their units. So if I just go and end the turn for that one there, and there may be sometimes the enemy will sort of then get in the middle of what's going on. But if I move this one up to this other side, that's going to be 90 points. I really can't do anything else with him, and he's now standing out in the open, and he's standing up, so he's not actually doing anything. When you've got specials, just be aware of what they actually are. Like, this is the guy that sort of does rush in, so I can sort of move him up initially. But initially, we're not going to be close to the enemy anyway. It's just that they are going to be coming in. Anyway, I won't keep on playing, but that's it is a. I think it's going to be a good game. I don't I'm not 100% sure yet if it's going to be a great game. So we'll sort of see how that one does go. So okay, Michael's in saying that the still play games like Battle for West North. Yeah, Battle for West North is a good game. Particularly lately, they've actually improved that, like over the last couple of years. So Chris is saying, I do enjoy walking my dog and listening to you guys at Explorminate. There we go. So talking about the Explorminate podcast. So the dog tends to get a longer walk due to that. There's a drive over unit. So the drive over units, is that a perk? I'm not sure actually. I didn't see that one. Sorry, Michael. And I haven't played with that one, so I'm not sure of that particular one. All right. So they've got the. So that's all sort of happening in through there. We've got the. What else are we going to talk about? Mars Tactics. Mars Tactics will be the next one we have a bit of a look at. So we go back into this one. So that one's coming in February. This is Menace. And then we should just go into Mars Tactics, which has just brought out another video, which we'll have a look at. Hopefully it'll be in here. So this is so Mars Tactics is coming in May of 2026. So basically a year away, and looking forward to this one coming as well. So we'll just go into the, this I think is the new one, is a new video. Does it show that on the news? Community Hub. The, where did that last video come? So there's this announcement one that Johnny just released. So we've got, hi guys, based on recent progress with the strategy layer and good feedback from playtesters, I finally feel confident to nail down a release date, so May of 2026. Yeah, here we go. This is actually it now. This is the wish list. So let's go and open this one up. And we'll just pause this one as well and just sort of work our way through. what we're seeing. So Mars Tactics is a tactical game where you can sort of hide behind objects. It's sort of randomly generated as well. It's a mission where you've got like different things you have to do. Sometimes there'll be like a time limit, etc., etc. Let's just see if I can make sure that is. Yes, the quality should be up higher than this. Yes, explosions. This is that's a strategic layer, that previous one, where you've got like the things that happen on a larger map with the different with your different areas. Sort of moving into sort of like a bit of a danger zone. There we go, fighting on the train itself. There we go, the high res. So your drop ship, you got your forces that come down. Different sort of weaponry as well. They did have a play test of this some time back. This is a screen that I had meant to have a bit of a look at here. Like the policies of the first Mars Labour Union. So you've sort of got like soldiers, not soldiers. You've had sort of like labour camps and things where you do need to either break out enemies from break out workers to get them to work for you, etc. So I'm not sure exactly how that one does work. So yeah, there's different things you can then do with the labour unions, which looks pretty cool. This is the research you can then go and do as well. So there's going to be, and this I really quite like this pixely graphic here, just with the actual with the areas that you then build up with different abilities in each area that you then have to defend. It looks very, very cool. I can't wait for this game. This is setting up different sorts of weapons for your squads. And I think the squads, when I played it, it was brutal, and so I don't know how attached to these units you'll get either. I'm sort of hoping that they do have a bit of survivability, but certainly you've got the different sorts of loadouts in through there. Can't wait to play this. Cannot wait to play this. Yeah, so there's a meeting engagement through there. You've got firefight in the Martian plains, and so you've got objectives: eliminate, capture, or drive away all the hostile units. Optional objectives are to capture hostile units. On the battlefield, you've got 6 labour from the west and 6 corp from the east. Strategies, flee directions, north, east, south and west. So you've got different ways of sort of leaving the zone. I don't know if it'll show us then the actual mission itself. It is brutal. Yeah, coming May. Really looking forward to this game. Can't wait. So yeah, that's a game I've been looking forward to for so long. So yeah, so far it's not a tactical game on Mars. Yes, it is. Yeah, I did play a play test of it. In fact, I've probably still got it on my computer. I don't know if it'll still work. Mars Tactics is what it would be called. It may have been just taken away. If it's going to be in here, it was from a long time ago. No, I don't have it there. I thought I may still have had it just for mucking around with. It won't be in here because it's yeah, it would have been taken away by now. Anyway, Mars Tactics looks very, very cool. The way it sort of is going to be working there. So the action feels so tactile, impactful, and physical in Mars Tactics, says Thor. Yes, it's an environmental destruction, very much so. You can actually you can destroy the environment to then create shelter for yourself. So there's a lot you can do in the game, but it's a very, very brutal game in terms of the damage that can happen. So it's not like you're doing. I mean, from what I can remember when I played it, I was finding that you really couldn't get attached to your units. They were just literally there to fight and die. So it was interesting in that sort of sense. I don't know if that will have changed. That was a long time ago that I did play a version of it. All right, let's have a look and see the Endless Legend. Let's just see how that one's actually going. Now, actually, before I go there, I'm just wondering what the 20% off at the moment. Wonder what the review would be. For me, it was probably a 60% game, like in terms of if I was giving it a review. Let's just see what it actually is, what people think of it in the early access. It's a very positive, 88%. So I'm miles off. I'm miles off with that one. So it's basically 90% at this stage, which really surprises me because I found it so unimmersive, this game. I really want to like it, but I just don't. And yeah, I have to play more of it. I do have to play more of it. So, so if I stop saying good on destroying the environment, I hate Mother Nature. What has she ever done for us? Well, Mother Nature doesn't count on Mars, does it? Anyway, so lead your people to victory in an ever-evolving world with a strategy game featuring asymmetric factions led by powerful heroes. I don't know why this is doing so well with the positivity. It's just, I mean, I'm glad it is for the game, but I just can't see it. I don't love this game at all. Like, it's sort of... and I saw, like, you know, because I was thinking, what am I missing with this game? I'm missing something. Because other people are obviously getting a lot of enjoyment from it, and I just don't. It just doesn't do much for me. When I compare this to Age of Wonders 4, I'm thinking it's just so far behind in terms of what it does. I don't know. It's a strange one for me. Another Hooded Horse game in through here with the publisher, but I will keep on giving it a go because I do want to like it. So Chris is saying, yeah, Endless Legend is no Age of Wonders. It's and it also, like, it's only just come out as well. Age of Wonders has had a lot of time to get good. Michael's saying, Daz, have you ever played Mountain Blade Bannerlord? Yes, I have actually, but not very much. And so Dave is saying EL2 forces you to follow quests that are the same every replay. I think so. I don't know. I just found it really shallow, like in terms of gameplay. It just didn't do anything for me. Just have a look and see what I often look for the negative reviews in games anyway, just because quite often that's where you'll figure out whether you like a game or not. So love the demo, enjoyed this version very much. Let's go look at this one. 53 hours on record, and stopped playing after writing this review by the looks of things. So I'm sitting at 52 hours with 47 of 55 achievements unlocked, and honestly the game is super fun, at least in the early stages. What's good? The early game is fantastic. Let's read this one here. The early game is fantastic, the exploration loop is rewarding, and the combat system is engaging and fun. I don't find that, to be honest. That for me is one of the negatives. There's a real sense of potential here. The foundation is strong. I can see myself sinking a lot of hours into it if it's developed properly. What's bad? It's still early access, in my opinion, not quite in a fully playable state yet. Every turn turns us over into some kind of bug, visual glitch or broken mechanic. It doesn't ruin the entire experience, but it does chip away at the fun. That doesn't bother me at all with the game in early access, so that's not going to affect me. The late game feels shallow. The AI doesn't scale properly. It fails to upgrade units and doesn't adapt in combat. On endless difficulty, you can field an army worth 3,500 while the AI is still running around with stacks of 1,000. The early pump stats are just not mattering past mid-game. Victory conditions feel unbalanced. They come too fast. So many campaigns. I think the game is designed to be played pretty quickly. Honestly, I'm starting to get PTSD from past Amplitude games. They often launch with great ideas but buggy execution, and then either never fix them or leave it to the modders. Final thoughts. Really hope that isn't the case here. The devs said that they've broken free from Sega, which is a good thing. Like, that's actually a good thing. Certainly having Hooded Horse as the publisher is going to give them a lot more flexibility. So this is their chance to prove that they can deliver on their own. The early game shows they're on the right track. But if the AI, victory conditions and bugs aren't addressed, which I think that they will be, I think that this is why I don't like just giving a sugar-coated response to these sorts of games. It would be easy to just say, oh, it's a great game, but it's for me, it's not. And it's important that the devs actually, particularly in early access, it's their chance to really finesse things. And so, but I can't nail what I don't like about the game. I'm just not into it. And I do want to try to define that because I do want to like the game, or I want to know why I don't like the game. And at this stage, I can't answer either one of those. So right now, Endless Legend 2 has huge potential, but it needs serious polish and balancing before it can become a classic. Deserves to be. Fingers crossed. Yeah, this for review hasn't really sort of didn't scratch any itch that I had for it. To be honest, it didn't really resonate with me. Saying taking the best parts of Humankind. I didn't like Humankind. To be honest, that was a game that didn't really do much for me. I only played it once, I think. And again, I'm thinking we're going to get a lot of this for the fanboy stuff. I don't think that's helpful. Just love Amplitude, and I really feel that they deserve a lot more success. The game's great. Amplitude do very, very good graphic design, but I don't like their game design, to be honest. Like I think the game design tends to be lacking. And again, what sort of time are we looking at? Less than an hour, and then writing a review. I don't know. I don't think that's enough time to give a review. Well, there's not very many negative reviews, is there? Here we go. I wanted to start this review by saying that I really loved EL1, and I do love a lot of what EL2 is doing so far on the gameplay side. Let's have a look at this one through here. I only have 1.7 hours in now. Okay, that's not anywhere near enough. So that's not really going to be all that helpful. I'm not sure. For me, it just feels shallow, and I don't know why. Anyway, so where did we get up to? So actually Thor is saying, all Amplitude games are beautiful and shallow. Yes, they are. They actually are. They really don't do a lot, do they? But they do look good. Not enough innovation, says Sci-Fi Snob. It's not even that. It's just I'm happy with it, with having no innovation, but just having a really good game. It's sort of I don't need innovation to enjoy a game. Would your decision be based on you're not liking Endless Legend 1? I played a lot of Endless Legend 1, and I actually really liked the idea of it, but it just seems like it's the same idea hashed out again for me. Like it hasn't, and it's sort of like it didn't really address the strategy maps, for example. Coming off the main map was a good idea in Endless Legend 1, but I find that it's just a little bit. It's not really enough now in Endless Legend 2. I almost wish that they would build a hybrid map, not just straight from the big map, but something where there's, even if it was a tactical map with more detail from the main map, I'd be much more impressed with that. Anyway, it's just me. Because Thomas is saying, because even I think it's a great game. There we are. Chris is saying it's like Endless Space, visually awesome, but quite unimmersive. Yeah. Thor is saying it's in all Endless Legend games, the strategy was fast and hard hitting, stacks of doom, no need to defend. Yeah, it's just I don't know, it lacks. Chris is saying you want good AI in a 4X, go for Zephon. Yeah, Zephon and of course Gladius, great AI. Drexy saying I'm half enjoying EL2, which surprises me as the demo sucked, but I'm not sure how long this will last. I've had no bugs, but yeah, the AI is weak. There we go. And Lewis is in saying, hey, Daz and chat. So hi back, Lewis. And Drex is in saying, I think the Insider program sucks. Too many fanboys who are too afraid to tell them the truth. A lot of these low review times are insiders. Yeah. And I think also having an audience that is a fanboy audience, and you don't want your beta testers being purely out of that group. For a couple of reasons. One big reason is when you've got fanboys like dominating the discussion within a beta testing environment, which is a closed environment, they will defend the game to for people who are doing the proper beta testing, and they'll defend it in an aggressive way, which will then stop the beta testers who are doing their job from actually doing their job because they feel that they've been attacked. And I don't know if that's the case, but quite often in some beta tests that I've seen, there'll be people who will defend the company, defend the game no matter what. And even though, and I find this when I do a lot of beta testing, I will say things, because I always look at, when I'm beta testing, I always try to look at it from the eyes of somebody who is not someone who plays games every day, who actually is coming in and is just trying to get an understanding for the game. So I try to put myself in that mindset as to how would this game appear to me if I was unused to playing these sorts of games, and what would I be looking for? And so I always try to think of it in those terms, just to try to give feedback that is going to help new players with the game. And I find so many of the fanboy beta testers, as soon as you start to take that approach, hate your comments, because you're trying to find excuse me, ways to simplify information. But for them, instead of saying, okay, yeah, that's good, it would be good if it had it. It's like, oh no, all you need to do is press this key, then that key, and then that key, and you get around it. That's not helpful for a new player, and it shits me off no end when I'm beta testing a game and I'm getting those sort of responses. I'm thinking, there's a workaround. We all know the workaround because we're used to the game, but I'm not saying that this is the Distant World beta test I really did enjoy, so I'm not saying that. But there are certain functions in Distant Worlds where you do need to know keyboard shortcuts to get them to work. They're not listed anywhere. And that's what I mean, like the game needs to do better with the user experience. And I'm not saying that the beta testers in there were saying, oh, you just need to press the Alt key to get the distance measurement. But in a lot of games where they've got a lot of fanboys in that beta testing group, you do get people who will actually, instead of saying, oh, yeah, there should be a visual tool, to actually have distances, they will then come in and say, oh, you just press the Alt key. Yeah, obviously, but that's not helpful. Anyway, I'm sort of going on a bit of a rant here. So anyway, that's sort of where we are. But yeah, so it's sort of, but I think you're right there, Drexy. If there's too many fanboys in a beta test, it will crush the other beta testers because there's no value at all in arguing with fanboys if you're trying to give constructive feedback. Unfortunately, which is I think can be a problem in a lot of games. Hi Hans, how you going? I saw that you made a stream. How did you like the DLC of Combat Mission? I liked it. I screwed it up, to be honest. I screwed up the way I was playing it, and I sort of kicked myself afterwards thinking that's where I do a lot more live streaming now than what I used to. And so usually when I'm going to be playing a game, what I would have done in the past would have been started recording it, got 2 hours in and thought, this is shit, what I've just done is shit, and I would have then thrown all that away and then started recording again. And in Combat Mission, I really, really enjoy it. And I wish I had have done that rather than actually did a live stream in hindsight. I don't think the live stream was presented the game anywhere near as well as it should have. So if I was having my time over with that, I would have recorded it and then thrown away what I'd done and then re-recorded it again. So Drix is saying using the map for the battlefield is terrible. Sometimes there's no room for your melee, and I even had one where I couldn't manually fight and had to auto because the map was too small. If they did a hybrid map, let's just say, for example, they took each hex and then made it into 6 hexes for each hex that you're going to fight in, and a smaller area, they could then put in things like cliffs and stuff like that, and actually have an algorithm to construct an interesting battlefield, still based on on what's around it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of over that map, the battlefield. The battlefield coming from the actual world map. It was interesting with Endless Legend 1 because it hadn't been done before, but now it's old. And it doesn't really work. So I agree with you, Drexy. Chris is saying Stellaris suffers from fanboy reviews as well. Yeah. Oh, look, I don't know. Stellaris is that is considered the leader. I don't know. It's sort of one of those things where fanboys are. I consider myself a fanboy of Age of Wonders 4. And the Age of Wonders franchise. Consider myself a fanboy of Distant Worlds, to be honest. But I try to put that aside when I'm actually talking about these sorts of games because I don't think it's helpful for anyone. I don't think it's helpful for the devs or the players. When you sort of, if you do come in with blinkers on, all you're seeing is rose-coloured glasses, basically. Lewis is saying, when I started to play strategy games, I used to like endless series, but today it doesn't appeal to me. Too much simple. Yeah, they are simple games. Like every DLC release gets good reviews from those fanboys. Yeah, again, it's helpful for sales, and that's about it. But doesn't help the actual game. So Cypher Snop saying good constructive criticism, it's worth its weight in gold. And this is what you find, like the companies that do well with their games will actually really, really try to get in reviewers who are aggressive, in terms of trying to find the problems. And again, I enjoy being parts of good beta tests are very, very enjoyable in the sense that people are really looking, like they're hammering these games hard, finding every little thing that they can possibly find that's wrong with it. And it's hard for the devs as well. And again, I think of Distant Worlds too. That beta test was great for Distant Worlds. I know we're not supposed to talk about the beta test, but it's sort of funny because it was such a good beta test with people really, really smashing the game, like trying to sort of find things that were broken with it and stuff like that. And yeah, it was just. I thought that was it's just a shame that none of us had the issues that people had when the game launched. There was none of the beta testers ended up having anywhere near the problems that with stability. Like for us, for everyone that was beta testing, we didn't have. There was no comments about the game, the stability of the game, which at launch there was a lot of people that did actually have problems, but none of the beta testers were having those problems. So there was a lot of. But it was a really good beta test. I've been lucky to be involved in a fair number of beta tests over the years, and yeah, some very, very good ones, and some that I don't like as well, to be honest. So I like to be able to see the big picture of whatever I'm going to be beta testing rather than just little snippets. So even things like this Menace demo, I know I'm only looking at the combat. I've got to keep in mind that the big picture looks really impressive. The combat looks okay. It looks good, serviceable. Probably better than okay. It's probably good, but it's not great. But I think the game has the potential to be great. So Drex is saying I've played 16 hours so far, so I've got a Game Pass for £1 this month. I'm not sure what a Game Pass is with that one, sorry. And then Chris is saying that's quite some time for you, Drexy, especially as you've been disheartened of late with Forex. Yeah, so anyway, let's. I think it might be time for us to do the giveaway. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark, which is about what I like for these sorts of things. We'll just have a quick look through and just see if there's any other. Oh, Sins of Solar Empire have just released another DLC. We'll just go back into that one. Have a quick look at that. So, Sins of a Solar Empire. Oh, that's on special at the moment. Okay, this is actually so we've got Sins on Solar Empire on special. When did that go on special? That wasn't there at the start. By the way, the Matrix sale has now ended. If you didn't get Shadow Empire at the start, you're too late. Oh, there's battle mode. They're showing off whatever's happening with like I don't know if it says live. Here we go. So I don't know if it's pre-recorded or live, but anyway, that's battle mode, sort of showing off the game. This is a great game, by the way. I'll just get rid of battle mode so he's not sort of there in the corner, but. So you can see they're very positive, 84%, which is great for one of these sorts of games, mostly positive in recent times, 72. That's a big drop, actually. I don't know why. Like, it's actually a very, very smooth game. The real-time aspect is not something that I embrace, really, with games, but it's but I do really appreciate the art and the way that the way that they've made the user experience work with this particular game. So it's a game that I enjoy. I don't love it because of the real-time aspect, but I do enjoy it. So no, I'll skip the giveaway. Need to go out now anyway. Okay, no worries. Software Snob is saying yes. So I think Menace needs a lot of improvement on this combat layer. Yeah, I think so. I think it's good, but not great. And I think that people, again, fanboys are going to really embrace Menace because of Battle Brothers. It's not Battle Brothers, and I think again it would be helpful. So Charles is in saying, looking forward to Flashpoint Campaign's Cold War. I am. I don't know much about it, and I haven't ever played a Flashpoint game, but when you look at the material, it does look good. I'm not sure when that one comes out. I think it's coming very, very soon as well. The Steam sale just started, says Drexy. Oh, okay, right. Oh, okay, which sale is that? Oh, the Stardock sale. Oh, well, here we go. Geez, I'm going to have to... well, let's spend some time with this. Because, so Matrix sale has just finished. I didn't realise the Stardock was having a sale up to 90% off. There we are. Okay, well, let's have a look at this one. So we'll deviate off. I'll change this one here. I'll go to, because I'll put the Stardock in front. Stardock and Matrix sales. So Matrix sale ends, Stardock sale starts. There we are. So we'll have a quick look at that one and just sort of see how that one's going to work. Stop. What's going on there? Where's the sound? Nope, it's this one here. There we go. All right, so 90% off. That's why Battle Mode is actually doing a live stream, so that would make perfect sense. Yeah, so he's actually doing the live stream, I guess, for the actual sale itself. So 90% off, up to 90% for 30 years, specialising in 4X real-time strategy, turn-based fantasy, and space strategy. I've got to say, I really do love what Stardock does. It's sort of one of those companies where their passion is sky high, and it's something that I've always liked, because like when Elemental first, in fact, Elemental's coming again, so we've got like stuff coming in through this other side. Now we've got Ashes as, actually maybe we'll just go through the list first and then just go back through these ones. So we've got Ashes of the Singularity 2 is just being announced. So this one is, if you liked, I forget the name of the game. It's not my type of game. This is too fast for me. So if I think it does have tactical pause in it. This massive real-time strategy game, command vast armies fighting for control of entire worlds, control the force of Earth, the mechanical AI substrate, and the enigmatic post-humanity, whatever it might be. This is something where I'm interested in it, but don't think I'll love it. If it's got tactical pause, it means I'm not going to be overwhelmed by the scale of what it does do. Okay, there we go. So if I stop saying Shadow Empires are still on sale for the autumn sale, so you're okay. There we go. That's good in that case. So that's still sort of working. So that's, I'm not sure when that's coming. So the release date is to be announced. I thought that was coming pretty soon, actually. Then we've got Elemental to be announced as well. This is a reforged version of Elemental. I really am looking forward to this. Create a character and lead your civilization in this epic turn-based fantasy strategy game. Design units, research technology. I don't think it's going to be as... I don't know if there's going to be all that much innovation in it, but they're going to try to combine the three Elemental-style games together and create like one big game from that, which will be interesting. There was a King game. I forget what it was called. Anyway, the third game I didn't really like all that much, but the other two, Elemental, I thought it launched with problems, but then Fallen Enchantress is just an incredible game. So same designer as Endless Legend 2, to be honest, when we look at that. Then we've got the feature deals. Actually, if we go back through, so these are the announcements, which, as I say, really looking forward to Elemental. So we've got 35% off. That's not a great deal there for Sins of a Solar Empire. 50% off for Gal Civ 4. That's good. That's very, very good. So take command of a civilization's... yeah, this one... The thing I love about Gal Civ, and it blows my mind, is the combination of different ways you can build a civilization to play in the game. Like it's 40 times 40 essentially is the base element that you can then sort of go and create to get the things empowered, which is that's what 1,600, isn't it? 1,600 combinations of civilization base types that you then got, plus you then got all the nuance around other things that then get added in. So it's really just exponential what you can do in Gal Civ. It's just so open-ended in terms of the way they've actually built the game up. So yeah, one of my favourite Space 4Xs. Absolutely love it. And at 50% off, that's a must-buy if you do like Space 4Xs. And it's a game that I think I actually enjoy building the civilizations as much as I do playing the game. The problem, if I'm trying to think of problems with the game, one of the big problems with the game is the pacing in the early game. It's very slow, so it's not great for doing live streams because you've really got to go a long way into the game before it starts to get exciting, and then it really does get quite exciting. But it does take a long time to build up for that, and so that would be probably the biggest negative of the game, is just that early game pacing. I don't know how they get around that. More pirates, maybe? I don't know. It's sort of like that's what Distant Worlds does, is Distant Worlds tries to have you deal with a pirate threat before you end up dealing with empires. They do actually have pirates in Gal Civ, but they don't actually play a big role, and like really you can sort of just avoid them. So I'm not sure what the answer there is, but that for me would be that there's that period of a few hours of gameplay really where nothing happens, where you are just building up. Yeah, I'm not sure, because if they then push it a different way, in that period, it's then going to screw up the actual pacing of the game overall. So I don't know what the answer is, but that for me is the soft spot for that particular one. Thomas is saying, I like to see a turn-based Wild West game with Indian raids, outlaw gangs, and usual Wild West jargon, random maps, etc., but set in the Wild West. No supernatural crap, just the Wild West would be great. They don't really do Indian type raids anymore, do they? I mean, it's or First Nation raids. I don't know if you're politically allowed to say Indian raids anymore. I don't know. It's sort of one of those things where you've got to be so careful what you say nowadays. Anyway, Gal Civ 50% off. Grab it. That's very, very good. Hi Silvercall, how you going? Just put in max number of space monsters. Yeah, well, I guess that's a way around it. I guess that is a way around it. Yeah, that's maybe there's more that they could do in that field of sort of early game threats for everyone to deal with. I think would be good. But that's probably the area that for me lacks in Gal Civ at this point in time. Is I always feel that I should play without recording for a fair few hours and then start recording when we're in the middle of something that's exciting, or just at the start of something that's exciting. And so, I'll have to think about it, because I shy away from doing, recordings of it for the simple reason that nothing much happens at the start. All right, Sins of a Solar Empire, 35% off. I would have hoped for more than 35% off there, to be honest, but that's actually not too bad. Then you've got the content passing through there as well to get the different DLCs, and there's a new DLC. This Reinforcements DLC has just launched as well. So this one actually adds more ships and things to the actual base game, so you've then ended up getting extras in through there. And you've got Paths to Power. This one was a while back that we ended up getting this particular one, I think. So we've got a few different areas there for the Sins of a Solar Empire. But the 35% off, I would have hoped that would have been around the 50% as well, to be honest. But anyway, it is what it is. Ara History Untold. I haven't really played this. I don't know why. It just didn't excite me when I looked at it. So it's not a game and it's not on special anyway. Let's forget about that one. Okay, here we go. So we've got the. This is now going to go through all of the various. The expansion pass will then give you a lot of the DLCs. The DLCs, the biggest one that you want is Warlords. So it's only 20% off. So these are only 20% off. Yeah, Warlords is a good one. It does sort of change the way that you can then sort of structure the auto battlers to a large degree, which is good. The other ones are good as well, like Mega Structures I quite like. Where does that one go? We've got mixed reviews there. I do like that one myself. Mostly negative. Wow, that's interesting for that one there. Warlords should be positive, mostly positive there. God, people are super critical of what Gal Civ has done. I don't see them, like these are. I'm surprised at this, to be honest. I'm surprised. It may be a value thing that people are sort of concerned about. Why is that? Let's just go to this one, have a quick look and see what is it that's going on here. Just get that one out of the way.
Prepare to expand the universe of galactic civilization.
Just pause that one. Mostly negative. 27%. Why is... Gee, that is crazy. Extremely misleading, therefore, overpriced DLC. Okay, so just people are concerned there's just not enough in it. Wasted my money. Yeah, okay, interesting. People are too harsh on this DLC. Mistaking species for civilizations. This DLC lets you create custom species to change the makeup of civilization. It's not a new race with new ships. You can pretty much customize anything else, though. It's if you properly align. See, I quite like it. If I was looking at this one, I'll show you what it is. What it does do is it opens up the species for you, and if I go into it, so maybe it is just people just didn't have the. Maybe they thought it was actually predefined civilizations. If we go in and play. It sort of, for me, it actually adds a lot of stuff that was missing from the game. in good ways, and they've actually even addressed it even further in recent times. So there's so even when this came in, the itch that it scratched was actually a good one, and they've actually now gone beyond this a little bit more now with different species that you can then actually have. Yeah, I think that bit of feedback was that people are thinking it's civilizations and not species, but it is a species pack. So if I go into the, what have we got there? Ship designer, workshop, mod manager, options. Yeah, okay. No, I'll just go into new game. And again, you can sort of go and create anything you like with the actual species itself. If I just go and grab, for example, this particular unit, and go to, and I did use a species pack for this one when I did create this particular faction. If I go and edit this, I can then do all sorts of different things with it. So all that pack does is actually add stuff down through here, like with the actual, with these species. If I go and choose a species, we then actually have like the basic ones in the game are in through here as well. But then there's a whole lot of other ones that were added in, like the, I don't know if they're all at the bottom or not. Yeah, like things like space elves, space dwarves. There was just a number of different things that were sort of added in to just flesh out the different types of species that you ended up having. But you still, like in recent times, you've been able to then go and edit things as well. Like you can actually go and edit the species that you've got. So you can actually go in and tweak up different, and all you're really doing is just going through the relative traits of the units and just getting a group of portraits. So you don't, it's still, it is what it is. Maybe it's overpriced for what it is. That I could certainly grant that, but I don't think it should be 35% or whatever it was. I mean, it was certainly useful, and you can then just go and tweak what you want, just going through and add names and stuff. The game, I don't know. There's a lot you can do with the game, so I'm surprised at that. I am actually surprised that it's thought of so negatively. Anyway, we won't keep on going through with that particular one. So there we go. So Drex is saying, hello, Daz. The Steam Autumn Sale has started. Right, so it's actually the Steam Autumn Sale. I might have to do a special video on that then in that case. So it looks like it's across the board. So it's not just the Stardock sale, but Stardock, I don't know, we were having a look at what they were doing. Let's just keep it going. Keep it going. I won't go through the whole sale. I'll just keep on scrolling down here. And what did we get up to? Political Machine I've never played, so I don't know what that one's like. Off-World Trading Company, I haven't played that one for a long time. I don't know when that one came, 2016. It's a bit old now. There's the original Ashes of the Singularity. Star Control, I never really enjoyed that one, but it's, again, that's going to be fairly old, I think, now. 2018. What else they got? Oh, here we go. They've even got this software. Now, where's Fences? Fences should definitely be in there, because Fences is what I use for my desktop. So this is Fences, which I love. I can't. I must have that on my computer. It's just it's incredibly good. It's but I'm not seeing Fences actually listed there, unfortunately. Not sure. This is old. So this is old stuff. I won't go through that. Well, okay. If the autumn sale has started. Just go back to Steam and have a quick look and see. Yeah, Steam Autumn Sale. There we are. Wow. Let's have a quick look at that as well, and see what they've got. So we've got. Just going trying to get one of the lists. Just give me list view, please. So usually you can filter with this, with just coming into it. It's these are all 90%. So we'll have a quick look through this. Old World at 90% off. That's a must buy. So that's good. What's we seeing? I need to filter it by strategy games. I'll just go back to try to find an actual. A way of doing this one. Let's click on strategy in here and see if we can actually sort of get like a filtering system going. Strategy. Give me list view, please. It's all. So I can actually filter in through this other side. Let's have a quick look and just see what comes up for us. In fact, we'll just go through this little list here of strategy games. Hearts of Iron, 70% off. People are still playing that one and enjoying it a lot. I haven't played that one for so long. New expansion out for Solaris. So Solaris is actually 75% off. That's good if you haven't got the base game. Age of Wonders 4. Age of Wonders 5 is on the way. So again, that's good at 65% off. What else is good in here? Endless Legend 7, 30% off, but it's pretty crappy by all accounts. Endless Legend is 20% off, which has only just come out. Civ 6, 90% off. That's pretty good if you haven't got Civ 6. Crusader Kings 3, 70% off. That's very, very good. That's a must-have. War Tales, 60% off is good. Warhammer 3 is actually 75% off, which is good. So that's actually a good special there. Let's just go and show a few more of these. See if there's anything that really jumps out. Northgard at 84%. That was 2018. These are getting a bit old now, these games, but that's still a very, very good game. Age of Wonders 50% off. There we are. If you don't have Age of Wonders 4, that's a must-have, a must-buy. It's very positive. So it rates at a. It's not going to give me the rating, is it? No. So that's one of that is my favourite series of all time. They've got the Total War again, Warhammer, Frostpunk. Yep, okay, we'll just show some more of these as well. Yeah, anything that's really sort of showing up through here. X4, 75% off, that's good. That's a very, very good deal. They keep on developing that one up as well. Manor Lords 35%, not a great special. Gee, Total War Rome 2, it's like $22. That's Australian. That's a lot of money. Let's have a quick look through these ones here. If we just go down to the popular discounted and just see what they've got. So Hearts of Iron, yeah, that's good at 70% off through there. Stellaris, actually, this is going to be the same list that we're having a look at. So let's just keep on going back through. Victoria 3 is only mixed reviews, but still 70% off. There was mention of a DLC, not a DLC, a mod for that, which I haven't played, but I did download it, but I forget what it's called. Anno 1800, mostly positive, at 90% off. That's actually pretty good for that one. There's Age of Wonders 4 there again. Northgard. Only 30% for the DLCs for Stellaris. I mean, that's often what they do, is that they have the base game cheap and then make their money back with the DLCs. Don't know what this game is. So just a first-person shooter. Okay, yeah, I'm not sort of seeing too much there that's really sort of leaping out, other than those few that we sort of had seen before. Anything else there? Not really seeing anything. Okay, so Old World for 90% off, must buy. Absolutely. I think that's probably the pick out of that group. You had a couple of other good ones there, but I think 90% off for Old World really is a great special. So yeah, that's a bit of a must-have, isn't it? Really, if you don't have it. And again, that's a game that just kept on improving and improving all the time as well. So anyway, Autumn Sale is also kicked in just while we've been recording. Right, let's get set up for the giveaway, and there we go. So Thomas is saying Ara with the new update changes the game totally. I think you would look into it, Daz. Yeah, I might have a look at it. Actually, I should actually. I've got to go back. There's a lot of games that I just don't have time to play, and that gets shuffled into that sort of category, unfortunately. But let's go and open up the Nightbot, the dreaded old Nightbot. and just get started in here. Keyword giveaway, next, and next. Just the word win, guys, and I'll just click on done. So if you just type in the word win, there we go. Actually, Spellforce Conquest of EO, I would recommend, says Drexy. Now, I've tried to contact them a few times for a Spellforce game, but they never respond back. Weaver's Realms, 50% off. That's one I want. So I think this is the one that then creates the. So that's actually not too bad. I might grab that one. So that one for me would probably be the one that I would end up buying because I don't actually have that one, and I do want to go back to Spellforce with random maps. I'm pretty sure that's what this one does do. I think it adds random maps to it. Yeah, randomly generated campaign map. So that's probably the one that I do want to be testing actually. Now that was the one thing I didn't like about the original Spellforce. I think everything else is great except for the lack of random maps, and that comes through with that DLC. All right, let's get Marbles set up. And again, it's going to be Terminator Dark Fate Defiance. It's going to be the giveaway today. So that's the game. Marbles on stream. I'll just move that one back up the top here somewhere. And hopefully this will then fire up. Actually, I'll get the Sublime text as well. Just get everything ready. Okay, we'll just get it geared up. So just type the word "win," guys, in to get the key.
I've been watching it pixel by pixel. Exclamation mark player roll with you. Keep on giving them out, there's no issue. That's one party I want to get into.
Right.
So
Yeah, we're in there. I don't know why it's got this sound. Music. Where's music? Audio. I think 3% sounds about right. Background audio. Yeah, that's okay. We'll apply that and go back out. So back to the. So I think everyone's got it. So Guy Belly's got to go now. Or watch later. Need to make tea. There we are. All right. So I'll just go back into the marble run. We'll just go back to the list. Where are we? And we've got 24 runners for today. So we'll actually just go across and copy the eligible entries. I'm going to throw them into my text editor. I've got to run it through a regular expression replacement script that I've written for it. Replace all. God, regular expressions are good. Now just make sure there's no double ups on names. Yep, everything's good there. So we'll just go and save that. All right, well, good luck, everyone. So just make sure that we've got everyone. Yep, so Joe was the last one there at this stage. Right, so we've got that one there. So, and we go back to the game. I'm going to set it up in race. To start with, we'll add the names. We're going to clear those. Open it up. Marble names, open. All right, finish that one off. So we've got 24 there. I do need to go in and then change. I think I've got to. Yeah, I think I'm okay there. I thought I had to do something else in here. Add names. Yeah, name count 24. That's fine. I know that we had a problem once before. So let's just go back out. Grand Prix, here we go. So we need to go and change the bot's number to 24. I'll make it say 30 because it's, I'll make it exactly what we have, 24. And bots, and then 24. That's what it's happened before, where it doesn't know what to do. So bots is what we want, 24. We're going to go to 3 maps. We're just going to auto-fill. So correct rustic something. We've got pretty cheerful sunshine and delightfully glowing manifestation here. So these are all 2.5 minutes, up to 3 minutes. So they're Tiger Rust. There's always one, isn't there? There's always one that has to come in. And I actually can't easily put you in Tiger Rust. I'll make the exception. Add names. Okay, there's no more unless if you get in right now, anyone, or this is it. Oh, you're already there. Hang on, you're already there. I didn't need to do it. You're already there. All right, so Tiger Rust, you were already there. I didn't need to go and do that. So we'll go back to the Grand Prix. Bots 24. We do have this one set up, so we'll now just go and play. So good luck, everyone. Here we go. We have closed the entries. Oh, thank you, Tyler, for the super chat. So been watching since Dwarf Fortress. We'll go way back in the day. Have a free snack on me. Thank you very much for that. Very much appreciated. So kick the cheater, says Sci-Fi Snob. Wasn't cheating, I don't think, but anyway. So here we go. So we don't know what's going to happen with this one through here. So straight down through the bottom, it looks like Joe is the first one through, getting past a lot of the loops. Coming back down, so we've got Joe, Sharky Mouth, Matt, JW, Tiny Mutant Squid, but Joe is miles out in front. This looks dangerous. It's gotten through. Is anyone going to miss here? Well, no, Joe is gone. Or is he okay? No, he is gone. So Joe is out of it. Sharky Mouth now takes the lead. JW jumps ahead. Dave Flute is gone. Guy Bellaby is gone. So not sure where the others are being ejected from, but they are off. JW's got a bit of a handy lead here. So coming in with the extra points. Got Tiny Mutant Squid and Sharky Mouth are both together, both neck and neck. CB is coming in 4th. Then we've got Charles and Thomas. Just see if there's any problems up this way. Looks like Sharky Mouth may have taken the lead now. Yeah, Sharky Mouth taking the lead. Mike G is out of the race, so he's dropped out of the running. Tiny Mutant Squid, Sharky Mouth hit that rust spot right there and has been delayed. But Tiny Mutant Squid is now on the big loop as well as CB. Let's see who gets into the middle here first. Tiny Mutant Squid is the first one through. So Tiny Mutant Squid making his way down towards this location. Goes the Shows is coming in 2nd. Charles coming in 3rd. Andy Raynor coming in 4th. Tiny Mutant Squid's now made it through to the next level. And coming back up. I'm not sure what happens if you hit those laser beams. It doesn't look good. Still got a lot of people in the game. Now it's going to be the Tiny Mutant Squid now going back through and up, and that should be for the win. Straight into there. Here comes Charles and goes the show. Tiny Mutant Squid coming down to the finish and is in. So Tiny Mutant Squid is number 1. Goes the Charles. No, Goes the Show is 2nd. Charles is. Where's Charles got to? Did Charles drop out completely? I didn't see that one go. Charles is in there. Yeah, Charles has come in 4th. Andy's come in 3rd. I'm not sure what happened to you, Charles, there. I thought you got in a bit earlier. And Serenity is going to get the... No, Serenity missed. And comes... Oh, that's what happened. There's actually... you can miss this. Thomas has been killed. Matt took the 10th spot with 10 points. CB is gone. Here comes the end. JW is way at the end after leading the show there for so long. I don't think you're going to make it. I think that the yellow line is going to get to you before you can make it through. Oh, I think you just made it. All right, that was lucky. So final results. Go back to the Grand Prix. So Tiny Mutant Squid 20 points, Goes the Show 15, Andy 12, 10 for Charles, 10 for Matt, and then 8 for Michael, Drexy, Tiger Us, sort of down through the list through there. So we have a few on zeros. but that was good. So we go to the next map. Good luck, everyone. All right, we get started. And the first one through is Serenity, Sharky Mouth coming in second, Tiny Mutant Squid, Mike G, Sorbicol. On the other side, Louis, Matt, Michael goes the show. Who's going to be the first one through? Serenity, first one out. After sort of missing out on the on a high number with the previous one. Let's just go and follow one of these. So it looks like we're following Goes the Show here. Going around the loop. Looks like it's a fairly safe one at this stage. No one's actually fallen off. Dave Flute has dropped a long way down, so in front of everyone. So there's a lot now in front. Just go to Sharky Mouth now. So they're all coming through. So JW out in front here. Maladroit. Oh, being taken over. That should be Goes the Show there as well. I think it's just zipped past Sharky Mouth. When I actually take over one of these, we end up losing the name. But Sharky Mouth is the one that we actually are dealing with. Coming back through, JW is still leading. But Sharky Mouth is making it. But Maladroit, oh, and there's one gone. There's Hugh David gone, and Goes the Show is gone as well. Still coming back down. Got JW coming through the middle here still. Still looking at Sharky Mouths in through this other side. Matt maybe leading. Tiger Russ is gone. No, they're stuck there. Who's going to be first? JW. Let's get out and have a look here. Oh, JW died. Missed the area. Louis is out in front, a long way out in front now. This is the finish line. Can you make it? There's no one even near you. You've got a mile to play in here. So Louise is through. Serenity is gone. Sharky Mouth is still coming in second. This is Sharky Mouth now coming in without the name plate. So we go. Sharky Mouth has now come second. We've got Sorbicol, Dave Flute, Maladroit, Ulrich, Andy, Guy, Thor, Matt, and Joe. Still got a few on the actual map itself. There should be the yellow line coming fairly soon. Drexy and Mike and CB are still stuck at the top there. They're going to be taken out by that yellow line. Tiny Mutant Squib will be taken out by the yellow line. No points for that, of course. And Michael possibly will not make it as well. Charles does make it. And Michael is making it. Great. Okay, so there we go. Right, so final results. Let's have a quick look and see the Grand Prix. So this is actually where our scoring is right now. So we've got 21 points for Louis. In fact, if I click on points, that'll give me the actual point list. So we've got Louis is on 21, Tiny Mutant Squid on 20. We've got 18 for Andy. We've got 16 for Sharky Mouth. We've got 15. So it's anyone's game. It's anyone's game here. So we've got 14 for Sorbicol, 14 for Matt, 11 Maladroit. So I guess that Thomas is not going to be able to win because you need to get 20 points. So we've got Thomas. So we've got Mike, Thomas, and CB are out of the running, but. Technically, Serenity and JW can get an equal first, but unlikely. So, but it really is. That's a big leader group. So I've got no idea. I normally try to keep track of like 2 or 3, but there's no point because it's really anyone's game at this point in time. So we're going to do our final race. Delight-free woeing manifestation. Who knows what this is? This is a very tight one. Everyone goes in. Where's the danger? Not sure if there is any danger here on this particular map. Not seeing anything that's going to be pushing people around at all. Maybe towards the end there, maybe. Comes Mike, Joe, CB, Andy. So again, it's pretty much anyone's game, isn't it? Really, CB is not CB's game. So we can ignore CB in that leader's circle. Even though he's hit the lead. Let's wait for them to all get through this part. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to fall off here. Just wait for them. Here they come. It's Joe and Dave out in front. Big group in second, in that sort of second tier. Ooh, Serenity zipped into the front there. There's a lot of them in the front there now. It's very, very tight. Here they go. Here they go. Neck and neck. Very hard to pick it. I'll just go and grab... Actually, no, I'll go back into here and have a bit of a look. So Serenity's out in front. Dave Flute has now hit the lead there. JW has come through. CB is going through as well. Here comes Drexy. JW is out now leading this way. CB and Joe. So CB is having a good run this time. And here's the finish line. So JW out in front. And is coming in for the win. Not yet. In you go. So yeah, JW in next. CB is in. Ulrich, Tiny Mutant Squid, Joe. The 10 points at coming in 10th could be crucial here. Drexy's coming in as well. Serenity got the 10 points. Ulrich has also got 10 points for coming in third. But so that's our leaderboard at this stage. Still got more coming. Here comes the yellow line. I don't think Maladroit will make it, but I think the other two will. All right, then we'll see who wins. And if the scores are level, we have to then have a bit of a playoff between whoever the leaders are. There we go, yellow's gone. So Maladroit, you've got no chance. There we are. So we've got final results. If we go back to the Grand, actually we won't go to Grand Prix now. We'll just go and finish the Grand Prix and then have a look at the numbers afterwards. So coming in third place is Luiz. So Luiz doesn't get the win. Coming in second place is Ulrich, and first place at this stage is Tiny Mutant Squid with 30 points. There we go. So that was a good result there for Tiny Mutant Squid. So Tiny Mutant Squid, if you can please email me at, and I'll just pop it in the chat here, daz@daztactic.com. I will get that key out to you. So, so for myself saying, Dame, last again, I blame Trump. Let's have a look and see. So this is the list in through here. So first, just look for your name as we sort of scroll back down through. So yeah, clear winner out through there with Tiny Mutant Squid, and down to Thomas ended up with 1 point. There we go. So everyone got a point at least. So there's no one that just ended up on 0, but that's still a pretty poor loss in through that side. Anyway, that's good, guys. So thanks for watching, and I will leave it there, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow if you're around. And I don't know whether to keep on playing the Shadow Empire game, or I don't know, there's so many games at the moment to play. I'm not sure what to do. What was the key for? The key was for Terminator Dark Fate Defiance. That was what that key was for, which is a really, really good game. It's a game that I thoroughly enjoy. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. I will catch you next time. I'll catch you tomorrow if you're around.